Hey y'all, checking in to make sure y'all can hear me. Are y'all able to hear me? Let me know if the volume is good. Can y'all hear me okay? Hello, Joshua. Hello, Rain. Hello, MLW Fishing Man. I hope the volume and audio is good. All right. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me okay. This is a test run. Hey, Miss QT. Hey, Joshua. Hey, Rain. Hey, MLW Fishing Man. I don't know if y'all are still in here. Y'all may have just been passing through, and that's cool too. I am literally trying to figure out how to set up my trending recaps as a podcast. So I appreciate y'all coming through. I have had to cancel this so many times. Hey, Kiki, can y'all hear me okay? I don't know if y'all could hear me talking when I had the little video clip going or not. I'm trying to set up my little podcast so I can do my trending recaps. So if I make any mistakes, y'all bear with me. Bear with me, please. Okay. I wanted to have some music in the background too, but I might not. So you can hear me? Okay, good. Oh, you guys could still hear me talking even when the little red thing was going with me on the phone screen? That is awesome. I'm going to try and do these on Sunday evenings. I just got like a few topics that we're going to talk about. My power went out on Saturday, guys, because of the dang storm here. And it did not come back on until like almost 1:45. So I had to cancel my short support stream on Saturday. So I apologize for that because I know people was looking for me. Hit me up on the backside and everything like that. So my apologies. But yeah, I got my little trending recaps here. I used to do them in an uploaded format, but obviously I wanted to try and do more podcast style commentary and put them into my podcast playlist. So I'm going to just be touching on a couple of topics, and I hope that y'all will join in. So I'm going to be putting all of my like interviews that I do, trending topics, self-care and wellness tips and all that'll be rolled into like a 30-minute to 1 hour show, more like 30 minutes messing with me. But just touching on a few things that I saw trending throughout the previous week. Hey, gamer bro, welcome in, welcome in. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend so far. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Memorial weekend so far. Give me one moment. Ooh, no, that music ain't sounding too hot, is it? I wanted something light in the background, baby. But I was starting to see that it was already 8:01. You're blessed. That's awesome. That's what's up. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just happy to be getting my power restored, you know. Got to get back on here and make up time. So I do have some topics and I want y'all's input, of course, on these particular stories. And I'm going to jump right in to this first one because I'm sure everybody's been seeing this one. So let me know if y'all can still hear me when I bring this slide up to the screen. we had a couple of losses in the celebrity world and entertainment, right? Kiki said, I need to call you. Do I know how to set up merch? Oh, yeah. I thought you already had it set up on your channel, Kiki. I didn't even get a chance to share this out. So, y'all, welcome. Please share this out for me. And if you didn't remember to blow dry on that like button, please blow dry on the like button for me. And shout out to Pandy's Peeps. Those are the members. Okay, I appreciate y'all. So let me see. Where am I trying to be? I'm going to get into this first story because, like I was saying, we've had a couple of losses in the world of entertainment this week alone. And I wanted to touch on them a little bit, right? So are you guys able to still hear me with my banner up there? If somebody could let me know. Uh-oh, no, you think you deleted it? You should be able to recover it, though. Somebody let me know if y'all can still hear me with that picture up there of the legendary queen of rock and roll, Miss Tina Turner, Anime Bullock. Yes, you can. Cool. So we all know that Tina Turner, the songstress, actress, songwriter, trailblazer, known for her soulful voice and unbreakable spirit, passed away at her home in Switzerland after allegedly battling an undisclosed illness on this past week. I believe it was May 24th, to be exact. The news was just ringing off the hook on all social media platforms and all news outlets that Tina Turner, the world-renowned trailblazer in rock and roll and soul music, had passed away quietly at her home on Lake Zurich in Switzerland. She was known for her signature deep, gravelly vocal register and belted notes. And of course, we know that the songstress had carved out her own lane in R&B. So we want to say shout out to Tina Turner. I mean, baby, what's love got to do with it? Mad Max, the movies, We Don't Need Another Hero, Proud Mary. There's just so many songs I can think of from my childhood growing up, that bring a smile to my face when I think about Tina Turner. So yes, like I said, she carved out her own lane in R&B back in the late 50s, and she became an international superstar in the decades since. And as many reports have stated, she quietly passed away this past week, May the 24th, 2023, at her home on Lake Zurich in Switzerland. So many prayers and blessings and condolences go out to her family, friends, and loved ones. We definitely lost an icon in Tina Turner. Now, we also had another loss, and I didn't see much news coverage on this one. But Bill Lee, father of Spike Lee, also passed away on the same day as Tina, y'all. Bill Lee, the father of Spike Lee, has passed at age 94. He actually lived a very, very, very long time. According to multiple reports, Bill Lee passed away at his home in the Fort Greene neighborhood of Brooklyn this past Wednesday on May the 24th, literally the same day as Tina Turner. Oh, thank you so much, Kiki. I'm so sorry, I just saw the comment. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let me give you a thank you, boo. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And we'll get back to the commentary momentarily. Hold on, y'all. I was just reading away at my notes, not even paying attention to the screen. Oh, thank you so much, Kiki. I hope I got to say thank you to you before you left out. I apologize. I'm just now seeing the super chat. So thank you so much, Kiki. I appreciate you and all that you do on these YouTube streets. And thank you so much for supporting Pandy's Hair Candy and more. And yeah, you can reach out to me on IG. I'm pretty sure there's a way that you can recover that account. I'm gonna be off until I don't go back to work until Wednesday. So I'm gonna be off the next couple days. But getting back to this story, guys, Bill Lee, because I I knew that Spike Lee come from a talented family, but I didn't realize his father had done as much as he had. And so I found it noteworthy. And like I said, I like to talk about news and topics that we don't really see in the media that don't really get the coverage and share it with people. I like to call it news we can use. So again, let me get back to that story because I don't want to be here long, y'all. Now, according to the multiple reports, Bill Lee passed away at his home in the Fort Greene neighborhood of Brooklyn this past Wednesday, the 24th. And the news was actually confirmed by the director, that's Spike, of course, in a series of posts through his Instagram account, which chronicled the elderly at various points in his life and photos taken by one of Spike's brothers. Now, Bill Lee wrote the soundtrack. I found this interesting because I didn't know this either. Bill Lee wrote the soundtrack for Spike Lee's highly acclaimed film, Do the Right Thing. He also wrote the soundtracks for She's Gotta Have It, School Days, and Mo Better Blues. So he actually was very influential in his life. He, of course, was born in Snow Hill, Alabama, into a family of educators and musicians who encouraged his interest in drums, piano, and the flute. As he attended segregated public schools and went on to study at Morehouse College in Atlanta. Now, building from that, he became proficient with the double bass and migrated to New York City in 1959. It was there that he became a fixture on the scene, playing with many of the now iconic greats, including Bob Dylan, Aretha Franklin, Duke Ellington, and Harry Belafonte. It was alleged that Bill and Spike had a falling out after the Mo Better Blues movie came out, but the elder Lee's integrity and commitment to purity of vision was always a guiding principle for Spike Lee's life and the way he moved through it. You know what I mean? Now, in addition to Spike Lee, Bill Lee is survived by his wife, Susan Kaplan, his sons, David, Clinique, and Arnold, daughter Joy, and a brother, Clifton Lee, and 2 grandchildren. So many condolences and prayers go out to their family, friends, and loved ones as well. Definitely a loss to them and to the community. Sounds like he was very instrumental, with the work that he did within the community. Now, this next story that I want to share with y'all, I really want to see what y'all's thoughts are. Have you even heard of it? Because I've been kind of looking at it off and on over the past couple of months just to see where they were going with this. And it comes to us out of Miami, Florida. Miami, Miami, Florida. So let's see if y'all are familiar with this next story here. So this next story is about poet Amanda Gorman. Did you all know that Miami has banned Amanda Gorman's poem? What is it called? The Hills We Climb. The famous poem that she read at the presidential inauguration has been banned from the Miami-Dade public school, well, the elementary public school system. I didn't know that, y'all. So maybe I'm late to the party, but I have been hearing a lot of smoke about what's been going on with the school system as in politics kind of crossing paths with one another there in Florida. But this one kind of took me out because I was just like, really? Because I remember the poem and how much praise she got worldwide for her accomplishments and just her short time. I mean, she's such a young lady. She's so positive. The poem was very motivational and uplifting. I was just like, well, why did that get banned from the school system? Hey, Official 1SP. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for coming in. I am trying to just get on and share a little bit of positive information that we may or may not be familiar with. So thank you so much for coming in. Y'all do know I had a little bit of a power outage on Saturday because I'm in South Carolina. The storms took me out, so I couldn't do my Saturday live. So I was like, let me come on and do this trend and recap. We already talked about the passing of legendary songstress Tina Turner. And I just got finished sharing that on that same day, acclaimed director Spike Lee's father, Bill Lee, also passed away on May the 24th. So this is my third story here, and it is Amanda Gorman. This was the young lady who recited that very, very beautiful poem at the presidential inauguration. So it seems that Miami, Florida is really working overtime with banning certain books. So let me share a little bit about that backstory. So it appears that a parent complaint escalated to a formal challenge against 5 book titles as the attack on DEI, which is diversity and inclusion, and book bans persist throughout the country. And so a couple of days ago, 2 months after a parent of 2 Bob Graham Educational Center students challenged a handful of books for their inclusion in the Miami-Dade's elementary school curriculum, the district moved forward with banning 4 titles, including work from poet Amanda Gorman. Now, back in March, a parent challenged these 4 titles. It was the ABCs of Black History, Cuban Kids, Countries in the News, Cuba, and of course, the poem, The Hills We Climb, which Amanda Gorman recited at President Biden's inauguration, and Love to Langston. Okay, the only title that escaped this ban, while the remainder of them were moved to the middle school curriculum, was the Countries in the News, Cuba. So very interesting. Now, while the book bans are not an inherently new tactic, this has become a particularly politicized issue as Florida continues to remain a hotspot in the clash over what reading materials is considered appropriate for children, with laws that leave greatly expanded role on the politicians there to pretty much dictate what's going to be acceptable and appropriate for children to read. So, just curious as to whether or not you all have been watching this play out. I know some of my supporters may be in the Miami-Dade area. What are y'all's thoughts? Do you have children in the elementary school system? And this is not just going on in Miami, it's just more publicized and talked about. And then what exactly is that all about? Because, in certain arenas, we hear so much emphasis being placed on diversity and inclusion. But here you can see that it's almost being nipped at the bud. And it's starting with children, elementary school age children, to be exact. So I found that very, very, very interesting. And that does pretty much conclude all of my trending recaps for the week. Again, condolences and blessings go out to the families of Tina Turner and Spike Lee. And lastly, in closing, y'all, because again, these will be short recaps each Sunday evening. Tonight was kind of like a test run for me to make sure my equipment and everything was set up right and you all could hear me clearly. So thank you all for being here for that. I'm going to close this out with some self-care tips because at the end of the day, I'm all about self-care and self-love, motivation and inspiration, both of myself as well as others. I try to promote that here on this channel, but I also want us to stay informed and stay woke, which is why I enjoy sharing the news that we can all use. And with that being said, we're going to end out with 5 self-care tips that you can try today. You can try today, or you can just put them in a mental bank, make a note of them. And some of them we're all probably doing already anyway. But 5 self-care tips that you can try at any given moment to brighten up your day, help you to feel better about yourself and your surroundings. Number 1, you definitely want to make time for quiet. And I know that sounds kind of awkward, but in our busy culture, it's easy to get caught up in the stirring of loud moments. We all have our own needs, and oftentimes that get drowned out by the responsibilities and expectations that we all have. And we often miss out on the opportunities to check in with self and just get to ourselves, even if it's just 10 minutes where you are not doing anything, where you're not plugged in, you're not listening to social media, you're not looking at TV, you're not talking on a phone or on a computer. Implementing intentional quiet times throughout your day is a great way to break that cycle. And of course, like I said, it might sound like an easy enough thing to do. Practicing non-distracted quiet time consistently can take as much effort as forming any other new habit. So again, take a moment. I try to give myself at least 30 minutes of quiet time a day, especially when I get home from work, just to gather myself before I jump into the next thing. And sometimes I can't do it right away, but I definitely try to make sure I do it. Now, tip number 2, another very important thing that we definitely should be doing, which will be, beneficial for our self-care, is get your body moving. We all know exercise is a very tricky thing to navigate if you're not already an active person. Okay, it can feel like a far cry from what you might want to do, but it definitely matters. And we should definitely try to incorporate this into our self-care routine at least, 10, 15 minutes a day. It could be a walk to the store, a walk around your neighborhood, walk outside on your break, uh, you know, weightlifting. There's just so many different things. Even if you're just standing up and shaking your limbs and stretching, get your body moving. That is our self care tip number 2 in closing tonight. And tip number 3, nourishing our body as well as our soul. Nourishing our body as well as our soul. That is tip number 3. Nutrition is central to our well being, but gagging down a daily green smoothie isn't the end all be all of nourishment. And I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to sit down, eat a good, healthy, wholesome breakfast, but I'll have this smoothie. But I'm finding, the more I read and the more I research, I might be doing myself a disservice. So this also means to include certain foods that simply provide us with the nourishment and nutrition that our body needs. And we also need to design a diet pattern that provides that healthy balance of nutrients, including the right proteins, fats, carbs, vitamins, and minerals, so that we are able to nourish our body and soul. And I'm actually working with a program that I check in with virtually to help me kind of stay on track with that. Because y'all know I've been struggling. I've been struggling to get that under control for a couple years now. So I really think this is important. And then tip number 4, and I only got 5, y'all. Tip number 4, get some sun. Okay, Memorial Day weekend is approaching. We are here in the thick of it. In fact, tomorrow's Memorial Day. This usually signifies the start of summer. The sun actually gives off ultraviolet light, and exposure to this light is associated with a healthy mood. And the production of vitamin D is also an important nutrient for the brain and immune health system. So, if you live in an area that provides sunlight most days, like where I'm at on the southeast coast, it's good to just simply make it a point to go outside at least a few minutes every day. If you can't go outside, try to at least open up your curtains or blinds and sit near a window. Either way, just be sure to practice sun safety, of course. Um, if you need to use sun protective clothing, glasses, or even sunscreen to prevent sun damage, just get outside and get you a little bit of sun. And then lastly, tip number 5, honor your boundaries. And what do I mean by that? I know it sounds like an odd self-care tip, but it is also important. Boundaries actually refer to how we hold others to the standards of how we want to be treated and protecting our mental health. They're emotional and physical limits that you may not be okay with other people crossing. And to help define our personal feelings and desires and thoughts, we need to establish boundaries. Simple as that. So I hope you guys enjoyed those 5 simple self-care tips that you can start today. That does again conclude today's trending recaps. This segment is referred to as Pandi's Trendsetter Talks. I appreciate all of you all who came and joined me, and I hope that I'll see you all back soon. If you didn't remember to do so on your way coming in, please don't forget to blow dry on that like button for me on your way going out. And if you enjoyed the commentary, please share this out for me. Sharing is caring. Let somebody know. I'm going to try to be on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard for about 30 minutes or so. Sometimes I'll come in with a guest or a panel. I'm sorry, not a panel, but I may be interviewing someone, or I may bring in some panel guests. But most times I'll be sharing the trending recaps of the week and just news that we can use. You already know. It'll probably be about 30 minutes tops, 30 to 35, and then we'll be up out of here. News you can use. All right, now, until next time, y'all stay safe out there, stay encouraged, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.